Ladies and gentlemen, here's the spoiler for the entire video. The card that I'm about to review right here, right now, is not only is the best upper tier credit card in the game right now, but in my honest opinion, it is the best overall credit card in the game right now. And no, I'm not glazing when you're a fan of simplicity over complexity, which is what I am, and which is what I believe a number of you guys are. So, let's not waste any time. Let's get on with the review of the Capital One Venture X card. The fifth and final upper tier credit card that I'm reviewing for you guys on this channel. Let's go. So let's begin with the following. Unlike the other cards that made changes or another card that is basically brand new, this card is basically the same for many years, but there's one thing that they did change, and we're going to talk about that in this video. Why did I consider this card to be the best out of all the upper tier credit cards? Well, let's get into it. First off, we're going to start off with the welcome offer. You're looking at 75,000 miles after spending $4,000 within 3 months of getting this card. Is it the best welcome offer? No. But it ain't bad either. Like, there's worse ones where, for example, there's some cards that have you spending $6,000 for the same exact amount of points within the same amount of months. So, there's worse ones out there. This one ain't the best, but this ain't the worst either. The annual fee, however, is the best. We're looking at $395 in terms of you getting authorized users. Believe it or not, it's actually free for up to 4 users. And I'll be honest, I had to look this up as well. I had to be fair. You know, they didn't explain this properly on their homepage. I literally had to look this up and go to Google search and stuff like that. But nevertheless, it is free. But there is somewhat of a catch, and I'll explain that later on. Now let's take a look at the reward multipliers. You're looking at 10 times the points on hotels and car rentals booked on the travel site, 5 times the points on flights and vacation rentals booked on the same travel site, and 2 times the points on everything else. And by the way, their travel site, you know, the Capital One travel site, is the best. It's the best because of the features that website have that makes it very competitive with every other travel site, whether it's owned by a bank, a credit card, or not. This one is the best, without question. Now then, let's take a look at the benefits. You're looking at $300 annual travel credit. Now, by annual travel credit, you're looking at using credit towards either hotels or flights. Granted, it got to be used on the Capital One travel site, but remember what I said. Their travel site is amongst the best. So, I have no problem doing that, and not to mention, there's no minimum this, there's no splitting up credits, using them semi-annual. No, it's just straight up $300. You can use it whenever you want within that 1 calendar year, and there's no minimum of this or anything like that. So you can use it on one night stay. You can't beat that. It's so simple, so easy. You can't beat it, and it includes flights. You can't beat it. You will also get 10,000 bonus points, which according to them equal to $100 towards travel every year starting on your first anniversary year. You're also going to be looking at $120 credit towards global entry or TSA PreCheck. Again, I say this all the time. Just get global entry because TSA PreCheck is included, especially if you're going to be traveling internationally. So right off the bat, their credit just offsets the annual fee. So basically, you're going to get a card and you're more or less making $5 per year. You can't beat that. It's so simple. Let's move on though. You're also going to be looking at Hutch President Circle status, auto winner collision coverage, no foreign transaction fees, complimentary prior subscriptions that normally cost $149 a year with the annual digital access, which is another place to book trips in case you're wondering what that is. Access to Capital One lounges and landings. And let's stop right here real quick. This was the one change that they made in February of this year. No more getting your authorized users in for free. No more getting random guests in for free as well because of overcrowdedness inside the lounges. So they trying to fight back against that. So now here's the deal. If you got an authorized user, they must pay $125 for the year to get inside of these 2 lounges and also to get inside priority pad lounges as well. And if you're trying to get a pass, you're looking at $45 for everybody who is 18 or older. Now, youngest between the ages of 2 and 17-year-olds, that's going to cost $25 per visit. Now, if you're under 2 years old, then you go get in for free. No problems there. But if you're trying to get into a priority pass lounge, then you're looking at $35. And I'm not sure about an age limit in terms of if that's for every single person, no matter the age or not. But as it stands, it's $35 if you're trying to get into a priority pad lounge. So let's talk about Plaza Premium. This is another thing that they changed actually. So you can no longer use your Capital One Venture X card to get into a Plaza Premium lounge. Instead, you got to have a Priority Pass card to get in the Plaza Premium lounge, which you can still get by having the Capital One Venture X. So use the Capital One Venture X to get a Priority Pass card, and with the card you can get into the Plaza Premium lounge. So it's really no big deal on that front. So what are my plans for this card? Okay, so here's the problem with that. I already have the card, and as it stands right now, I'm planning on keeping this card. However, I am up to downgrading the card if something better comes along, or if Capital One does something really stupid to the point where I don't want this card anymore. Now then, who exactly is this card for? Right off the bat, single travelers. So if you're traveling solo, you can easily get into a lounge, no problem, because they're trying to cut back on overcrowdedness. So if you're traveling by yourself, you can easily just walk into the lounge or Capital One landings with that card. If you're new to the credit card game, so if you're not trying to spend a lot of money, which is another thing about this card in terms of who's it for, you can easily get that card with the Capital One Saver. You already got a setup ready to go, the Capital One Dual setup. And like I said already, you want to up tier credit card with lounge access, with credit toward TSA pre-check and global entry, but you want it at a low cost. This is the cheapest up tier credit card in the game right now, and for folks who want simplicity. So remember, we talking about a card that costs $395, but every year, starting on your anniversary year, you're getting credit that is worth up to $400, especially if you travel. So you're making $5 per year. So it's like, that's simple. No jumping through hoops. No special requirements that you gotta fulfill, nothing. It's right there, you use it, and you're good. That's it. Now, before I get to my rankings in terms of this card, y'all should know where I'm ranking it, but what I will make note of is this. It is extremely difficult to get this card, especially if you've been in the credit card game for a really, really long time. So if you got multiple credit cards that are active, your chances of getting this card will be extremely low. And as far as I can tell, the most amount of cards I've seen somebody have while applying and being approved for that card is 8. More than 8, I have no clue. But if you can keep it less than 8, I would probably say less than 5, and your credit score is really good, yeah, you're gonna get this card, and I highly advise you to get this card. But if it's more than 8, your results may vary, so good luck with that one. So where does this card rank? I mean, I already gave you the spoiler, not just in this video, but in my last video. This is the best upper tier credit card in the game right now. It's cheap, it's simple, it's easy to use, it's perfect, just about. And it's really more so for solo travelers as opposed to families. So families might frown at that card because the entire family can't get in a lounge for free, but it's still a really phenomenal card because of the simplicity and the fact that it's cheap. So that's why we're looking at this and saying it's the best upper tier credit card in the game right now. That concludes my look on the 5 upper tier credit cards that I have for you guys. So to recap everything, the Venture X is number 1, the Platinum card is number 2, the Sapphire card is number 3, the Palladium card is number 4, and the Strata Elite is in dead last. So there you go with that. And this is True Inferno, and I'm gonna see you guys next time.